Hey guys, how's it going? Nick is here as always, and this is the second episode of Amazon Answers, where I get questions from you and then I answer them. As you can see, I'm testing out a new lapel mic. I just got it in. I want to be a little bit more mobile. The other mic, the Yeti microphone, is really big, so I kind of have to carry it around everywhere, and it gets quite tiring. So without further ado, let's get to our questions. Ryan Moran has mentioned that URL change or super URL can be very helpful when adding that with PPC and review system. Can you explain and talk more about super URL and what is a squeeze page? Hey Nir, so I am familiar with super URLs. I don't personally use them myself, and here's why. So a super URL is a URL of your product. For example, if you go on Amazon, you click on any product, you will most likely have, Amazon.com/ and then it'll be like a bunch of other, random digits and numbers. But whenever you search a keyword, so let's say baby earmuffs, you will search baby earmuffs and you click on that specific product, you will see in the URL, it'll have a little clip saying keyword and then baby plus ear muff, whatever, plus whatever other things that you put in there. So that is a super URL, meaning that if you think about it organically, whenever somebody searches for something, so let's say I search for baby earmuffs and then I'll see a list of products, and then out of all that whole list, I will choose one specific product and I'll click on it and then I'll make the purchase. The Amazon algorithm basically associates my search for that specific keyword with my purchase of that specific product, meaning that they're very relatable, meaning that Amazon wants to put that product up higher because it's clearly satisfying the demand of what the person is looking for. So you can do that. There's a couple of software that can do that for you, where you basically put in like the keywords and they generate a super URL, and then you basically take that URL and you will paste it in either Facebook or whatever you're trying to sell, basically any kind of blog or forum, just like, hey guys, and if you're interested in buying my product, here it is. So when they click on that super URL, it'll take them straight to your product page where they'll be able to click ready to buy. But the algorithm will read it as if they went on Amazon.com, they searched the keywords, and then they clicked on your product, and then they bought it. So it's kind of like charging up certain keywords. So baby earmuffs would be a very big keyword for you to rank for. Whenever somebody searches baby earmuffs, you want them to have those your product baby earmuffs right there on display, and it will basically give the algorithm some juice, so to speak, to charge you up to the top page. In my discussions with my mastermind group, I think quite a few people have said that where the algorithm is going, basically Amazon, they're not dumb. They're very aware of what's going on, how people are trying, so to speak, gray hat the system, add a little bit of a punch to their listing. And I think they're going to be not cracking down on it, but they're going to be eliminating the weight of the super URL. I'm sure somehow they'll find a way to do it. So I mean, I don't think it's too late. I think you could totally do it for your listings, but I'm not quite familiar with how how much penalties you can incur if Amazon finds that you're kind of doing this, because it is kind of gray hat. You are kind of tricking the system a little bit. So I would advise against it. I would much rather focus on pay-per-click and then driving traffic to your page organically from other sources rather than copying and pasting the super URL and kind of juicing up your keywords. But please, by all means, if you want to test it out, try it out, I would find more information on it first and then go ahead with it. But that's super URL. When looking through a wholesaler's products like Alibaba, how do I find the price for shipping and not just per unit price? Hey Carcioto, thanks for asking. And the answer is I'm not quite sure. Here's why. It's not really the manufacturer that will be quoting you the price. I mean, as far as I know from the people that I've talked to, the manufacturer, the most kind of freight forwarding or shipping costs that they'll do is they will take it by sea or let's say by air to to another port where you'll have to arrange other means of transportation in the West. I know of one scenario where the freight forwarder basically, they were very familiar with I believe it was UPS as well as or something, FedEx, something rather, where they were able to negotiate like a pretty good price all throughout. But I would personally just use a freight forwarder, and the way you get the price for that or the quote, I guess, is you would contact them, get all the information from your manufacturer, cubic meter, CBM, how much does it weigh, the size of the cartons, the size of the boxes, contact a couple, The two that I know is Shapiro, which I've spoken before about, and the current one that I use right now, Unitrans. And just contact them, give them all the information, and they'll be able to give you a quote. And that's how you will be able to price it out. So it doesn't have to do as much with the manufacturer as much as it does with, third-party freight forward logistic companies. So contact those. Good luck. I am planning to get back to Europe in 2 months to do the paperwork to set up a business. I am wondering how comfortable you feel running your Amazon business from abroad at a very early stage. Hey Jacob, that's an awesome question. Anything to do with traveling and digital nomadism and running business abroad, I can talk for hours about. But to answer your specific question, I have absolutely no question about it that I'll be able to do it and do it successfully. And here's why. So I'm from Canada. I'm actually sitting outside Toronto U of T campus right now, filming this video. And Canada is in a very kind of unique position because I don't intend to sell on .ca because of a lot of cost-related reasons and actually logistical reasons too. But .com being like the big boy, right, where everybody goes for, Canada is positioned so close, especially Toronto, that let's say worst case scenario, something goes really bad and I need to handle, let's say, I need to relabel or reship 150 to 200 or 300 units or something like that, I can always jump down to Buffalo, get that sorted out, and then come back. But Canada's kind of like the training wheels, and I've only had to do that once, and that was a very case-specific scenario where I could have done it without it. I could have just skipped the whole trip and never done it. So being kind of up in Canada and being an outsider, so you're in Europe, so distance-wise, it seems like it's a lot more, but me and you are pretty much in the same boat because we're not in America. We don't have an address to ship to figure these things out. I think it's not difficult because there are a lot of companies, a lot of services centered around this, Amazon FBA. They're aware that there's a lot of sellers, and there are all these logistical companies that can help you pretty much with anything from storage to relabeling to processing the returns, fixing them up and putting them back in Amazon. There's all kinds of things you can find. Automation is the key here, right? So I don't think it will hinder you or me in any way at all. I think you should still go for it. And if anything, I think it's actually a plus that we're outsiders because it kind of puts a little bit of pressure on us to automate the whole thing. So not to follow our gut instinct, like, oh my God, I have to run, I have to fix this myself, like packaging or something else is wrong. I have to do it, I have to be there physically present. Instead, it forces us to step outside and eliminate the physical presence aspect of it, which will make us true digital nomads, correct? So I would not have any reservations about it. Still go ahead, still do it. I know people that have started while being in Chiang Mai or that started in being Vietnam. Riley Bennett is one guy that I follow on YouTube. He's a really cool dude, and I'm really looking forward to meeting him. If you see this, Riley, shout out. And yeah, just don't let that be a restriction to you. I think you can figure it out. Many of us have already, and good luck to you. I'm really interested on how you ship directly into Amazon instead of home. Does the manufacturer package and label all of your products? I want to start in hopes of being able to travel around, nomading. That wouldn't be possible if I was getting shipments all the time. Could you explain that? Another digital nomad question. Love it. So basically how the overarching kind of step-by-step process is the manufacturer has made your product. They're going to deliver it to a port. They're going to load it up. From then on, you can either keep using the manufacturer's services or you can find a freight forwarder. And there's three kind of big steps after that. The first step is either air or ship delivery from continent to continent. The second step is customs processing. So you're going to have to find a lot of freight forwarders. They do like this whole thing kind of in one go. Or you can find for each step its own service and kind of combine them, mix and match yourself. So the customs processing, and then the final step is trucking it over to the Amazon warehouse. I think as you scale more and more, I mean, at the beginning, I know a lot of people, they tend to be very hands-on with their business, so they'll get like FedEx or UPS or something rather. They'll get it shipped over to their home, they'll inspect everything, they'll make sure everything's good, or they'll put a package together themselves, and then they'll send it off to Amazon. The way that I do it, since my first shipment, I ordered 1,200 units, like I told you guys before, and I basically followed the process where I had by sea, got the customs cleared, and then got it into Amazon warehouse, all using one freight forwarder. And I'm doing the exact same thing the second time around with my second product and my first product as well, but I'm just using a different freight forwarder. So basically, you're skipping a step. You're cutting out the time the time and the psychological torment, I would call it, going through hundreds and hundreds of units and everything. What I do is I have my package basically developed by someone else. I pay them about a couple of $100 for package development. I ask my supplier what are the dimensions for the package that it has to be. I have the designer design it, and then like pretty much every manufacturer I know will do packaging for you. Some that don't, you can easily find a separate package manufacturer and then have your freight forwarder actually put it all together for an extra fee. So I would just get the dimensions, get the package kind of developed, and then send it over to them. Of course, first ask if they can do it, and then they can actually print and create the package and then package the product and then send it out. So that's how I would go about it. Good luck. All right, guys, awesome questions. Thank you so much for all your support. I love making these videos. I love answering all these questions. So just please keep them coming. As always, comment, ask questions below, subscribe, like, do whatever you want to do. But I'm here for you, and you ask and I'll answer. Good luck.